RNC is launching a new TikTok account yesterday, aiming to build on Trump's 2024 success with all his young voters. This comes after former Vice President Kamala Harris already changing her new headquarters handle on X, thanks to brutal backlash online for using 6'7", and she changed that just one day after its launch. Let's bring in Lara Trump, the host of My View. So first, let's quick talk about the Harris thing. So she launches this account, and the handle says 6'7", which is her, I guess, trying to be hip with the whole 6'7" thing. But if you have kids, you already know that's kind of cringe and yesterday's news, and that's why she changed it. Is that right?
Well, that's what we have to assume. I immediately thought back to the White Dudes for Harris. Remember that back in 2024
Yes.
And how embarrassing that was? They really can't help themselves. And the truth is, Rachel, President Trump was a pioneer in the space of social media for candidates, for any candidate, for any political office. Back in 2016,
Yes.
It wasn't a popular thing to engage on social media, yet Facebook is a big reason that Donald Trump won in 2016. It used to be people would go the traditional route, of course, of television, but this is the new space, and the RNC learned a lot from Donald Trump. We implemented it in 2024. It was very successful. Obviously, the Harris people are trying again, but yeah, it's very cringe is the right way to describe this. What's interesting in this space, too, is that while there are more Democrats typically on social media, the engagement, which is the key factor, always goes to conservatives and Republicans, meaning they're commenting more, they're sharing content a lot more, and that is an important factor.
Why is that?
Well, I think that, look, the reality is it's kind of like any good joke is rooted in truth. And whenever you have truth at the core of things, whether it's a funny meme or kind of a great video, that's always something that, you know, the RNC and conservatives are generally good at. Look at the Democrats. Are we really thinking that these people are going to be given any truth? They think men can get pregnant. You know, they can't even define what a woman is. They think there are 5,000 genders. There's no truth rooted in anything they're doing. And they don't have a message that they're selling. That is the other problem they're going to have. It's got to come down to authenticity. It's got to come down to a good message. And it also has to come down to good candidates. So whether we're talking about the midterms coming up this November or looking ahead to 2028, which, let's be honest, everyone already is. That's what this is all about. You have to have a great candidate at the core of everything you're doing. And the Democrats, unfortunately for them, have not had that.
Well, speaking of Kamala, let's look at what she had to say here about her relaunch. Watch.
So Kamala HQ is turning into headquarters, and it's where you can go online to get basically the latest of what's going on, and also to meet and revisit with some of our great, courageous leaders.
She hasn't learned anything, has she?
Well, she's learned nothing. And is that the leader of the Democrat Party? This is another problem for the Democrats. If Kamala Harris, their failed 2024 candidate, and we have to put that in air quotes because she was never chosen by any of the Democrat voters, Rachel, is the person who's leading the charge, that's very interesting. A lot of people look at AOC, Bernie Sanders, Zoran Mamdani. That seems to be the way of things. People are pushing socialist and very, very far left in the Democrat Party. Who is their leader? They have to establish who their leader is. They have to talk about what happened in 2024. And we know the DNC wouldn't even release their postmortem on 2024. So if you can't talk about what went wrong, you can't identify your leader, how are you going to win things in 2026 or beyond?
Yeah, say what you will about AOC. She does understand social media. That would not have happened had she been launching this instead of Kamala Harris.